This is where the fun begins.
Just get those wonderful toys.
Welcome to the party, pal!
All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the show. Hope you can hear me okay. I've got a paranoia about my microphone now. So if you can hear me, please let me know. Looks like it's working, just like it did that one time and it wasn't. But welcome back to the show, guys. Thank you for stopping by. I am Diehard 3.75 if you're new here, and this is my 118 3.75 Toy Talk show. We do this every other Sunday, right around this time, 6:05 Pacific my time. I'm not sure what time that is for you, but if you are so willing, please do subscribe, hit that little notification, and it will tell you when I come up. So let's say hi to everybody. What's going on, everybody? Thank you guys for stopping by. See, the chat is moving here. Ian, welcome, Ian. It's good to see you. Bob, thank you, Beta Ray Bob. Thanks for showing up. Do appreciate that. Good friend of the channel. Pinker, welcome, Pinker. Glad you can make it this week. And Jeff, welcome. Jabalong, welcome. Jabalong in Toy City. Good friend of the channel. Sentinel, MCR. Sentinel is MCR. MCR is Sentinel. They are one in the same. Welcome. He is my mod with the most. Welcome. Will. Hey, Will. Rocket Will. Thanks for showing up. Happy to see you here. Microphone's good. Okay, great. Thank you. All right, it's 10 a.m. here. Okay, so it's like your morning, well, it's Monday though. You're a day ahead. So it's like your Monday. Hopefully you got to have a good week. Okay, so tonight's topic, I kind of previewed this a little bit at the end of last show. Today, the topic after we get through the news is going to be lines, 118 375 toy lines that we gained this year, but also the ones that we lost. So little disappointment there, but a little excitement on the other end. And that's going to be the topic once we run through the news. Of course, I didn't get all of the news. I got kind of the things that stuck out to me the most. So there will be a time right when I run through it. If there's something that you want to talk about that I didn't, let me know. Drop it in the chat and we'll talk about it. We'll pull it up, we'll look at it, and we will discuss. All right. First thing. So last 2 weeks, I've gotten really busy with home life, but I did get 3 videos out, and they seemed to do pretty well for me. I did a haul video, my October haul. It was a pretty good size haul, a lot of good stuff in there. And the 2 videos that I did were from items from that haul. One was the Jakks Pacific Sega figures. There was a Golden Axe figure in there, and there was a Revenge of Shinobi figure. And then I did a video on the Jazzwares Stranger Things stuff that I've also picked up. So if you haven't seen those videos, please check them out. They're fairly about 15 minutes a piece. So a good almost hour of content there if you're interested. If you haven't seen them, please check them out. RIP Spin Master DC. Yep. Well, that's one of the ones I was going to talk about because Ian, there was quite a few. But again, because of the time, I had to just pick a few, but I did pick the Spin Master. We'll be talking a little bit about that. Just past 2 a.m. here. You're such a warrior. Thank you for staying up. Um, all right, so that's the last 2 weeks. I actually started 3 videos that were supposed to go up this week, um, but I just didn't have time. I actually one I shot completely, and it was on the Vintage Collection Bantha, like my part two, because I did the Power of the Force one a few weeks back. And in the editing, I have to admit, I didn't really like my own video. I kind of was like, oh, I forgot to say this. I shouldn't have said that. So I want to reshoot part of it. So that's one of the videos. And then the other two I started were for the King of Fighters figures from Joy Toy and the Cyberzoic, my Kickstarter order that I got from Beasts of Cyberzoic. Is I think is it? Not sure what the name. Beast of Cyberzoic is line, or no, or Cyberzoic is the line. You know what I'm talking about. If you don't, check out my haul for October. They're in there. But those were the 3 videos that I have already started. I just haven't been able to complete them. So I've been so busy. Yo, Tech 489. Welcome, welcome. Yes, so that's gonna be the next 2 weeks, hopefully. Just gotten really busy with some stuff going on here. But we got King of Fighters, the Beast of the Cyberzoic, and the TVC Bantha. And I hope in that Bantha video I can show you my Tusken Raider army build, my Sand People army build. That was always the plan. And that's going to be the video. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. It might be a little longer, that one. But I didn't like my first take. I missed a couple things, and I didn't do a couple things I said I would, and I just couldn't. I thought I need to reshoot it. I need to reshoot it. I have Argentus. Okay, that's one of the Cyberzoic creatures, the Argentus? Yeah. Do I? I don't know if that's the one that I got. I don't know their names that well. But yeah, so that's last 2 weeks. That's the next 2 weeks. We got some news, not a lot of news. I had to, had to whittle it out a little bit, but there's some good stuff in here. Um, look forward to the Bantha video. Thank you. Yeah, I think it's going to be good. I just definitely want to show the full kind of army with it. Yes. Yes, it was the Cyberzoic. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I think I got half of my order, the knight. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, I think I got him. I think I got him. I'm looking over here because everything's kind of stacked up where I left it for the videos. For you guys to, I think I do the videos on this table, so I have to take everything off the table, put everything on it, do the videos, and then when I do the live stream, I have to swap it kind of out. So everything is kind of neatly stacked over here. All right, so let's get to the news. There wasn't that much, but I got some good stuff I think I want to talk about, and I think that you will like. So let's get to the news. All right, we're just checking in. Let me move a couple things here on my end so it's a little bit easier for me to see and see what you're seeing. There we go. Okay, that's better for me. I hope that's okay for you guys. Let me move that right there. Okay, so we're just doing our due diligence here and we're checking in. Um, this is going about as bad as I think that we predicted. I don't think this backer count for this HasLab has moved much in the last 2 weeks. There's 8 days left. This is not a screenshot. This is a live. I could refresh it, but I don't think it's actually going to matter or change anything, right? Doesn't look like it's going to fund. We didn't think so. As I said before, I hope that doesn't damper Hasbro's push to do this 375 thing that they've announced. But this will be, when we come back in 2 weeks, this will be done. So we'll do it just like now. We're going to do a real brief recap. But it looks dead in the water. It looks dead in the water. And I don't think, I hate to be real mean or negative, but this is a pretty bad flop, I think, for what they were hoping. this isn't coming close. This isn't, this is embarrassing, I guess I would say. I think this is kind of an embarrassing number that they have here. Hopefully it will shoot up so they can save a little bit of face, but I don't see it happening. I hope this doesn't ruin Hasbro 375. That's my major concern now, Bob. That's my major concern, is that this is going to ruin things that may have been planned already. Mr. Stevie was showing them off, and the paint on the neck and the girl was being scraped off by the chest. I think I saw some of those photos, Will. I think I saw some of them. And he had like the older kind of Tron figures behind it or next to it. Hey gang, hey pirates, thanks for coming. I was just watching your video. I was trying to cram in one of your videos before I started this on the build that you're doing with the two ships, the Iron Man and the G.I. Joe. I was just watching that. Check out that video, guys, if you haven't. After the stream, please. It's a really good one. Nice to see how things, the process. Saw your whip update. Oh, okay, that was the one. Yeah. Hi, everybody. Finally made it to one of the streams. Juno Belmont, welcome. Thank you for coming. Welcome, everyone. Oh, welcome, Juno. It's a new name here in the chat. I saw Stevie's YouTube channel when he said he was trying to push sales for this, but the comments were just so negative, mine included. The pricing just doesn't match what you're getting. Yeah, Stevie's still posting regularly about this on his Tron on Facebook group. He's definitely enthusiastic, but the HasLab was a lost cause. Hopefully Hasbro learned something. Yeah, and pivots. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Yeah, so I don't want to spend too much time on this. We have before, but when we come back in 2 weeks, it'll be over, and we can talk a little bit more then. So let's move to the other news. This was the news, sort of how I saw it. I'm actually on the wrong slide there. I was going to start here. Boss Fight Studio. Again, we're not going to spend too much time on this one. They sent out a newsletter or email blast, and apparently the Red Sonja is here. I'm guessing that's what this means. We're on November 16th. They've got 15 days. I haven't got notification from Big Bad yet, but it looks like they're still claiming to be on schedule here. We're going to get all of the new 118 offerings that they have by the end of the year. According to this, get the Hax Wave 8. We're going to get the Big Bad exclusive Palladian and Vanguard, and of course the Red Sonja here any day now. So let's hope they stick to it and that actually happens. Let's see, what does Will say here? He says the HasLab figs should light up and these figs should be on the shelves. Yeah, those should have been on the shelf. I think they'd do well if they were actually on the peg. Hello, Juno. Nice to meet some new faces. Yeah, it is, isn't it? Watching you from Uruguay. Love your channel, bro. One of the last basins, bastions. Thank you. Thank you. We've got our first friend from Uruguay. I think I'm saying that right. Uruguay. Welcome, welcome. Appreciate that. That's really nice of you to say that. All right. We talked about this during, was it San Diego Comic Con? I know I haven't seen Bjorn tonight. Shout out to Bjorn if he's out there. He had sent me some information on this when it first came up, and I went to the I have to look here, Factory Entertainment. I went to their website to look at it, and I signed up for, just like the Boss Fight, I signed up for their newsletter or their email blast that they kick out, and that's what this is from. It's actually two. I had to chop it in half here, but they are saying that these are a go, that they're going to be putting a pre-order up, and that we are going to be able to pre-order these here soon. And they believe, I'm guessing, it's always scheduling here, they'll be released next year. I hope so. I've been waiting for that Red Sonja for a long time. Yeah, me too. Yeah, Looking forward to the Battlestar Galactica. I want those. Yep, me too. Boss Fight Ascension figures dropped in China a few weeks ago, so they should be on track. Yeah, and I saw someone today had some on Instagram, and they looked really good. They looked really good. I truly hope this line comes out. Me too, Pirates. Battlestar Galactica figures look great, but are we getting a Viper? They do. They had a Viper in that picture right there, and I cropped this. Well, I guess I cropped it. They didn't show it in the email, but there is a Viper. That's the name of their, right. I don't remember what the Cylon ship is called, unless that's the Viper. And on eBay. Okay, you've seen them on eBay too. So the scalpers are already pushing them, huh? No sign yet here trying the Fantasy Wave 8 yet. So maybe skeptical about dropping December, but maybe. Yeah, maybe. Keep my hopes up. But apparently these are going to be going up for pre-order soon. I know that some of their prop replica stuff is on Entertainment Earth. So I'm not sure if this pre-order is going to be directly from them or from them and other online retailers. Could be both, could be one or the other. But if you go to the Factory Entertainment, they have a little box there, and you can sign up for this newsletter blast, just like I did, and you'll be the first to know. I like that they're doing this, though, that they realized there was a demand here, and that people are really curious. So they are keeping us in the loop. It says we hope to begin pre-orders in the next few months. So I'm guessing like what, January maybe, or by January-ish. I love that it's the Mark One Viper. Okay, so that was the Viper. I have not seen those Boss Fight Ascension. Are they fantasy? They are. Yeah, they are. And they are a Big Bad Toy Store exclusive, I believe. I think they might be on the Big Bad website or on the Boss Fight website as well. Cylon Raider. Okay, Cylon had the Cylon Raider, and they had the Viper. The Viper could be pricey. Colonial Viper and Cylon Raider are the ships. Okay, I bet the Galactic figures are going to be close to 30. Yeah, it's hard. Yeah, it's hard to gauge, huh? Because this is kind of their first foray into the scale, I think, of figures or figures in general. I wonder what the price point will be. I don't know much about Factory Entertainment. Are they based in China? Is it an American company? Does anyone know? Or is it European maybe? Um, in fact, in any of the other San Diego Comic Con stuff, I don't really remember anyone ever really stopping at their booth and shooting it and talking about it. Um, so I'm not quite sure this company, what it looks like they're very well established, but they're kind of new to action figures and the such. But this is something to look forward to. I hope maybe, when we maybe in January when we kind of do our, because I think like this topic today and for the rest of the year is going to be kind of looking back at the year. Um, but by January we'll be looking forward, and I'll probably do a live stream on what I'm most looking forward to next year, which I think I did this year back in January of 25. Let's see, MCR agreed. Yeah, BBTS says the Ascension are exclusive to them, at least in the US. Yeah, that's what I thought. Factory Entertainment website has their address in Concord, California. Okay, that's my area. That's not too far from me. Not too far at all. About an hour drive, hour and a half. Price per figure will determine how many silver Cylons I get. Yeah, good point, huh? Good point. That will, we know this. People are very selective, especially the higher the price point. So if these are at a good point, whatever that could be, because it's all different for us, but this line could go far. It could sputter out. I tend to think it's going to do well right out the gate. And the only thing that might hurt it is, of course, the quality of the figures, or, what the actual product is. But could be good. This could be the start of something really good. Who knows? Maybe they'll delve into the. I never watched it, but I know it went really long. It got really popular. Was when they rebooted Battlestar Galactica. I think on the Sci-Fi Channel. I think that's what it was on. If that's even around, I don't know if Sci-Fi Channel's still around anymore, but I believe it used to be on there. All right, let's switch over a little bit to some Star Wars news. We talked about this last show. Um, the last figure standing had come down to, I think, was it the Ariel Swoosh? I forgot. I can't say his name. And Luthen, and it looks like Luthen won, um, which was who I voted for. I'm not sure who you guys voted for, if you voted at all. But with the selections that I had left, Luthen was who I voted for, and he won. So I was finally on the winning side of one of these polls. Didn't like the reboot. Oh, okay, you didn't. The BSG reboot is worth watching. I resisted for years, but then loved it when I finally watched it. Okay. Sorry, I'm late. Oh, Audi, what's up? Thanks for stopping by. I was in and out of your stream today. I was trying, while I was putting this together, I was trying to watch yours too. I wasn't crazy about the new Battlestar Galactica series last season. Okay. Reboot was good, but a bit depressing. Okay. I'll have to check it out. I always wanted to, but I just never had the time. And I think it went like quite a few seasons, didn't it go like 5 seasons or something? Um, so I thought, well, it must be pretty good if it's it's still going. Um, but I never actually watched it. But you never know. Maybe that Factory Entertainment, maybe they'll get, if the line is successful, maybe they'll do both. You know. But last figure standing, Luthen won. I don't know how well Luthen will do if Hasbro actually made him and put him on the peg. Um, I would think he'd do all right, but I don't know. The troopers, um, the females seem to do better, but or the droids, the aliens. But I don't know. I don't know. I guess it depends on what season 1 or season 2 Luthen. If we got the ship that Luthen's in, all those things would help. If they're going to give us Clea as well, that would all kind of, I think, help it. But it's okay. It's okay. What I thought was interesting, one thing I want to, before I move on, um, I deliberately chose this slide to show you Bantha Skull, because if you go to this blog post here, they say the exact one that I'm showing you here. There's a link in the blog where you can look at all the characters and all the names of all the people that others submitted. And remember, they only took the top 12, I think. But I kind of looked up. It's just tons of information, and you can filter it in any different way, from prequel to sequel to EU to, by name, and you can kind of see who, and it's just a giant list. I think there's like over 200 entries. But it's pretty interesting if you're into that kind of stuff. I looked up some of the figures or some of the characters that I submitted, and they were way down there. They were way down there. So I'm way out of touch, I think, with, well, we all like what we like and we want what we want. But apparently the guys that I want, only 14, 15, 16 other people did. Nothing near what Luthen got. All right, let me see. I missed some of the chat here. Reboot was definitely dark. I think the reboot is worth watching, but not rewatching. Oh, that's a nice way to put it. So I kind of need to watch it to know, but it's not something that you watch over and over. Audi was late because he was counting his Acid Rain figures. I'd love to get a Luthen figure, and a ship would be awesome. Yeah. I feel like the classic Battlestar Galactica is more toyetic than the reboot. I'd rather classic figures. If Luthen came with the ship, would sell like hotcakes. Yeah, I think so. His ship was awesome. Oh yeah, classic Galactica, please. Luthen should do fine if they don't pack him 3 to a box like Lando. Good point. Good point. Javelin Toy City, I agree with the 100%. Whoops. The only toy I'd want from the reboot would be the Viper. Really? Okay. When you have Admiral Adama, you can also play Bonanza. Okay. I'd pass on all the Last Man Standing selection. Yeah, that's kind of how I felt too. I didn't feel that any of them were, because I love to army build, and I like bad guys, and I feel like it was full of good guys. and no army builders, singular characters. With Starbuck, you have 1/4 the A team. That's true. Or Starbuck. Yeah. If you watch the reboot, look up the viewing order as there are some specials and things that are important. Oh, okay. I just want Hasbro to make Pikes. Yeah, me too. Me too. Although I'll say I prefer the Pikes from the Clone Wars, how they looked, as compared to the ones in Book of Boba Fett. But I'll take any Pike. I'll take any of them. Okay, so let's move on. Oh, so Uru Toys. You guys heard of Uru Toys? I know they did another vehicle that I never got that I wanted to. Um, they dropped this about what it says 5 days ago. 118 scale vehicle, and I can't remember. It was like a big Jeep. It was similar to this, I think, that the one they did, but it came in like 4 different colors. It was modular. Um, Looks like they are going to be putting this up for pre-order here soon. Um, if I've been following them for a while because of that other vehicle, but it looks like this is going to be like a new one to the line. Looks like it's 118, so it's going to be compatible with your Joy Toy, your Joes, your Hayatoys, Joes, any of your stuff you got. Um, but looks pretty cool. I think the other truck was it was fairly expensive. I want to say, man, I can't remember, but it looks really good. It looks good, but it won't be cheap, I don't think. But it looks like it will be worth it. These guys did do the other one that I mentioned, and I saw a lot of people had it, and a lot of people were happy with it. Um, that Nightwolf looks nice. It reminds me of the Joy Toy truck. Yeah, and I have that Joy Toy truck. Um, but yeah, that it'll be interesting. That's a good that I hadn't thought of that. That'd be good to compare, the prices, because the truck that I have, the Crazy Reload, I bought the second version, so it's a little bit different paint scheme. But this looks pretty cool. This looks pretty cool. Um, I'll have to, I'll wait to see like what it costs and everything. But I thought this was cool. I mean, I'm glad that there's someone out there's an independent toy company out there doing vehicles, because there are several. Right, we have lots of independent toy companies now, but not too many of them that I can think of are doing vehicles. And these guys, I think, strictly do vehicles. They don't really do figures. So kind of the opposite end of what most of the lines do, right? Most of the call sign longbows and the, you know, who else? I mean, Chicken Fried Toys, Boss Fight Studio. They don't really do vehicles, so it's kind of interesting that these guys do vehicles, but not necessarily figures. But that means that they've made this to be compatible with other people's figures and not locking you into a certain scale, kind of like Hasbro does with the Star Wars stuff. So interesting. I'll keep an eye on this. We'll probably talk about it again when it comes up for pre-order. And I'm tempted, to take a look at this if it's within, like a price range that I'm comfortable with. I might pop on this one. Timbo, welcome. Timbo Toys. Haven't talked to Timbo in a while. Welcome. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for stopping by. Pikes would be great. Yeah, Pikes. That truck looks cool. Yeah, I think the truck looks pretty good. And will fit in with all of the military stuff, or fighting zombies, or whatever you want it to do. It looks pretty cool. Looks pretty cool. And like the last one was very modular, so you could put like a gun on the top or not. It had doors or not. Came in like 5 different colors: green, black, blue, tan. Very cool. Very cool. But yes, welcome, Timbo. All right, let's go to the next slide here. So we talked a little bit about this earlier. There's Argentus right there. Um, if you passed on the Kickstarter for the Beast of Cyberzoic, all of the stuff that they have kind of shipped out, I think it's about half of what the Kickstarter was, like half of the dinosaurs, half of the people and the vehicles kind of stuff. the store now has them. So they're a little bit more expensive, I think, than if you would have purchased them during the Kickstarter. Um, but they're there now. So if you're interested in the vehicles or the dinosaurs or just maybe some of the people, they are available now on their website. Um, and I can't, I haven't opened them yet. I told you I started to shoot the video, but I haven't actually, the part where I actually open them, haven't got that part done yet. Um, any more picks? As far as I know, no. You mean for the Nightwolf? This was the only pick I could find on it. It's kind of the teaser. No, but no other picks that I could find. Yeah, and all the information is just right here. 118 scale action figure compatible, 14 and up, one set, the Nightwolf tactical combat assault vehicle. And then here in the description, it says this 118 scale combat vehicle will be shipping Q1 of 26, and we can't be more excited. Stay tuned for the pre-sale information and get ready to storm into battle. They got me. Hook, line, and sinker. Looking forward to the review of this line. Yes. So they look really good, man. They look really good. I've been staring at them through the packaging for a while. It looks like the wrist joints and everything. They remind me a lot of Joy Toy or Haya because they use that ball joint at the wrist rather than the peg into the like Hasbro or Boss Fight use the peg. So just on the surface, visually, they kind of look more like a Joy Toy figures or Haya figures. Probably more, I'd say more Joy Toy. But I haven't got them quite open yet to really, be able to tell you that. But all of these are up for sale now and shipping. I did get the Razor Hound here. And I got the human characters. I forgot that was his name earlier, Argentus. But they're there, and I think I can't remember how much they were during the Kickstarter, but this is a little bit more, like it should, or not should be, but it always is. I will say one thing when I was, because I've been looking at them, and I think it's part of the lore. Very few firearms. The vehicles shoot lasers and missiles, but the figures all came with like swords, shields, and knives. None of them have firearms. So I think that had something to do with the lore. Excuse me, the lore about like the government doesn't allow everyone to have firearms. Let's see. Hey, Ian, Bob, any more picks? Gridiron also promised a 118 Phalanx APC. Oh, did they? Haven't seen that. I have seen Gridiron stuff reviewed on Punk with Toys, but that's for classified. Are people receiving Dragolina yet? I have her. Yeah, I have her. Looks interesting. Yeah, she's right over here. Looking forward to your review. Uru Toys pictures of the prototype of the Nightwolf truck. Oh, Uru Toys. Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe we'll pull that up here then. On the website, you mean? They are Canadian. Okay. You mean Uru Toys from Canada? Cool. Yeah, but she is available. And I guess I have her also in blue, but I think that was the Kickstarter exclusive because she came with the Smilodon here with blue armor instead of green. Wow, that's expensive. 128. Yeah, these are they're up there with, your Haya, your Joy Toy stuff. But without having opened them, I'm afraid to say either worth it or, they're not. But the packaging and what they look like through the packaging, they look pretty good. Over where? You mean over on the Uru Toys website? They must have a website. We can go there. I'm almost through this. There wasn't that much news, guys. Oh, I did miss that one though. Yeah, there's a couple of the dinosaurs with the armor. So expensive, but these are big. These are pretty big. These aren't small by any means. All right, a little Acid Rain news. Uru Toys dot Instagram. Oh, okay. All the Cyberzoic are both scales, or each scale has different figures. Um, I think it's all 118. I think, and like on purpose. I think that's what I remember hearing, because of the world building aspect and the size of the, like anything when it gets to be 112 or higher. I'm pretty sure that's all 118. Everything, the dinosaurs included. According to Abby, she says there is no chest articulation. Really? That'll be a bummer. Yeah, I can't tell. I can't tell yet. But that'll be interesting if they don't, because I think they should. I think all figures, I'm an articulation person, so I'm like, it should have everything. All right, let's talk about this real quick. We're almost to the topic of the night. Acid Rain, coming soon. And usually when they do this coming soon, it means it's going to be up for pre-order here, within a week or so. So we've got like some kind of a mech here in this awesome blue, gray. Looks like it can fly. Looks like it has the ability to fly. I have a few of these type mech things. They're really nice. They're really good. Because it's coming soon, no price, we don't know, but we know it's Acid Rain. We know it's Toys Alliance, so it's probably going to be, $50 more or more at least. But it looks really good. But coming soon, they didn't really say anything about the story. I'm not familiar with the 201. I know the 303 and the AMM, and there's the different factions, but I'm not up to date on the lore. But this thing looks pretty good. Looks pretty cool. Not sure I'll get it, but it looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. Of course, Audi is commenting on the Acid Rain post. Oh, right there. Smile It On says is 112 on BBT. Maybe it is. Yeah, I have it right here, and I guess it's possible, right? Because the figure is 118, so you could put a 118 figure on a 112 scale creature. Here, let me grab it, and I'll show you. Let me see here. Here we can come right back to this. Here is the. I gotta move this. I can't see. There we go. Here's the Dragolina. And you're right, I don't see any waist or any chest. But maybe it's at the waist. But yeah, no firearms or anything. Let's see. So this is the Smilodon. I don't know. Is that 112? Maybe it is 112. But she is definitely 118. And maybe it works unlike a vehicle, right? A 118 vehicle or 118 scale figure in a vehicle, he would be swimming in it. He couldn't really do it. But on a creature that she just sits on, maybe that works, and then they can appeal to both scales by saying, hey, if you just want the creatures, they're 112. If you're into our figures, they're 118. Maybe that's the angle. But I thought everything was 118 though. But you're probably right. You're probably right. All right. So let's see. I'm sorry, I missed a lot of the chat here. Looks awesome, but it'll be out of my price range. Yeah, have to keep in mind that they are Creative Beast's first action figures. There's usually room for improvement over time. The 201 seems to be an Omegan faction. Okay. Going to have to catch you the rest of the replay. Oh, okay. Good night, Ian. Yeah, thanks for staying up. Need to be up in 5 hours. Thanks for the stream. Peace. Thanks for coming, Ian. Only a few of the Mesozoic are 112. Everything else is 118. Take it easy, Ian. Have there been any 201 figures? The only Blue Acid Rain one that came to mind is the Bucks and the Yamato faction. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I don't have any blue ones. Um, so I don't know. See it, Ian. No, that one is 118. So this one, this Smilodon is 118. They have two scales for the Smilodon, 112 and 118. I ordered. Oh, so they have two of them. Two different scales. Okay, that makes sense. That's what Pinker saw. And that's what Pirates saw. If I recall, Creative Beast scaled the cats to 112, but with the idea that it works for 118. That's what I was thinking, Jeff, because it makes sense. But maybe there's actually two of them. BBTS has both. The mounts are 112. Okay, yeah, so that makes sense. So the figures are 118. The creatures are 112. Good night, sir. All right. Okay, so let me move that right there. So yeah, this guy's out. Probably be up for pre-order next week. And then this guy too coming soon. No name, no story. I'm not even sure if he's in the same faction or he's with this guy. Doesn't look like he is because of the color schemes, but you never know. This guy looks pretty cool. He's got a face under there. He kind of looks like Rex, doesn't he? Kind of looks like Rex from Clone Wars a little bit. But this rifle here, I thought of Crosshair because it's like a sniper rifle. So he's reminding me, he's giving me Star Wars character vibes. But I can't tell. I don't know what that symbol is. I think I have some figures with that symbol on it. But I'm not sure what faction he is from. Looks like he's got the same helmet as the one I just opened not too long ago, but it's in red. Looks pretty cool. Omega. Yeah, it could be, huh? I just wish AR was at a lower price point. This guy looks cool. Yeah, I do too. And I wonder, well, it was right about this time last year. Jeff, you probably remember. It was right around this time last year. They did do a sale. But, times were different last year with the tariffs and all those things. But they did do a really big sale last year. Pia Club did. And I'm not sure that would matter now because of the cost of shipping and stuff. But if they're gonna get a better, cheaper, if they're gonna be a better price, it would be around now, in the next month or so. All Bad Batch in one figure. Oh, okay, yeah, that's a good point. It kind of does, huh? Yeah, yeah, he's got a lot going on here. You got the bazooka. Yeah, it could be. I think it's Omega again. Seems like it has been big Omega focus for Acid Rain this year. Yeah, 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 it does. Looks good. I'm tempted to maybe grab one of these, um, but I think I'm gonna pass on this big guy. I'm probably gonna pass on this guy too, to be honest. Um, but he looks really good. He does look really good. And typically when they have that, like their face showing or their head like this, isn't it usually a named person? Like it ends up being like a named character. Um, I'm thinking of all the Bucks team and a couple of the other guys. I'm not positive about that, but maybe he'll have a whole story behind it. All right, so I think that was my last slide. I think that was the last slide. Oh no, there was one more. There was one more. So toy show's going on right now, or it just ended. I can't remember where it was. It's somewhere I think in China, I believe. But they showed off that vehicle that they had shown us earlier in the AMM colors, and now it's green. They've got a green version, and I think I like this version a little bit better. The Space AK. Yeah, it is, huh? It's like a Space AK with a scope. Yeah. Looks like he's got something on too on his back here. It's hard to see it, but right there, I think you can see that. There's something there. Maybe it's off the belt. Maybe there's nothing there. But yeah, the vehicle, I forgot what it's called, but it looks like we're going to have two different colors. Maybe the yellow one is exclusive. or for the toy show, maybe the green one's going to be the standard one. I think I like the green one better. I don't know what you guys think. This was the Taipei Toy Festival. There you go, Taipei. I know you like Acid Rain a lot. Do you look for something specific in the characters, or you just go with the rule of cool? Mostly the rule of cool and army build. Can I army build it? Is it you know is it something that I want multiples of? That's usually kind of governs me with the Acid Rain. Um, I think the color scheme, like the Neo Atlantis stuff, is kind of my favorite. And I think I have everything Neo Atlantis except like the Camel Bot, because there just isn't that much. Um, but I actually prefer the Annex 2179 stuff, the more spacey stuff. Um, but he didn't release anything Annex this year, really, I think, except the one girl that I got. I did a video on her in the very beginning of the year. She was kind of, but she just like now, she was pre-ordered in 24, came out in 25, and I don't think there was any more Annex 2179 this year. So I actually prefer the Annex stuff. Um, I love Neo Atlantis playing in the blue and orange. Yeah, that blue. The blue's really nice with the orange. Really cool all the way for me, or if I see custom potential, yeah. We really need more Neo Atlantis. Such a nice color scheme. Love the colors on the Annex. Yeah, I think the colors too. That's a good point, Pinker. On the Annex stuff, the colors, um, they always use like a pink and purple, and they're just, it's very cyberpunk, very Blade Runner type stuff that I just love. Those camel bots get crazy expensive. Yeah, I know, and I have two, um, but I don't have the Neo Atlantis one, and it's so expensive now when I've looked. I know it fluctuates, but you have to have the money right when you see it at a better price. But I haven't been able to get it. Nothing new for Annex 217925. Hope it comes back next year. Love that line. Yeah, yeah. And I didn't put that. I actually didn't put that in my when we jump here to the topic. Um, yeah, because that was the last slide. I actually didn't put that in my line. I should have. I probably should have. But I don't think, I'm hoping, Jeff, I hope you'll agree with me. It's not like a deadline. Like the line is dead. But I think he just so busy doing other stuff. Because that line always seemed to do really well whenever something came up. All right, so let's jump into the topic, and that's a good segue. So I kind of put it. We'll talk about. I in the beginning I said lines we gained and lines we lost, but I set these up to talk about the lines that we lost first, so that we can end on a high note with the lines that we gained. And again, this isn't all of the lines we gained. This isn't all of the lines we lost, but just some of the ones that I was collecting here and there, because I'm not really a completionist with any line, um, that are gone now. And it's the it's the life cycle of collecting, right? Lines start, lines end, new lines come in, old lines die, lines switch packaging and names, right? How many different Star Wars lines have we had over the years? How many times has DC, went from Mattel to, Spin Master, and then now it's back to Mattel? So one of the lines that I think I'm going to miss a lot is this DC Spin Master line. And I know they weren't for everyone, but there was something nice about going to a store and finding a figure of Batman or the Joker or Nightwing or any of these guys, and they're $8 or $9, and that was nice. I mean, that's how it kind of used to be. One of the things I really liked about this line too was that they did vehicles. They did a lot of vehicles. They did play sets. Not many lines do play sets, and when we talk about Acid Rain and Joy Toy and Haya, some of the higher end guys, they don't really do play sets anymore. Joy Toy has, but not recently. I don't know if Acid Rain's ever really done a play set. And Haya too. They barely do vehicles, every now and then. These guys kind of did everything. even if it wasn't at the highest articulation, that most of us really like. I'm sure Annex will be back. I think this year Creativity Kit has been busy with new projects. Yeah, he had a lot of new projects this year, didn't he? I was dogging him. I was dogging him a month or two ago, and I was like, "What is going on?" And then he dropped all those vehicles, big vehicles. That will be in my looking forward to next year. Those vehicles from Acid Rain. But I am sad to see this line go. One of the other things that you can see, like right here, this overall pick here from Amazon, is they did the movie tie-ins, right? And that's kind of how it was when you were a kid, right? Sometimes you'd see a movie, and then the next time you're at the store, they had figures from that movie. And these guys were pretty good about doing that. Again, the figures are what they are, but it was kind of, fun to see that. They did like the Hawk. Some of these movies weren't that good, but they did do the vehicle and a figure and a play set. And I thought with this last Superman movie that came out, that was kind of one of the things that was sorely missing. Was there, for me as a 118 collector, there was no action figures for it. I hope Mattel does a DC line similar to what Spin Master did with the 118. Me too. Me too. Um, and I will add this too, is this Superman. He looks like one of the older ones. They got better over time. The at first when this line started, they were really bulky guys. They were very Power of the Force 2 proportionally. They were they were kind of they were a little bit too toyish, right? But that's who the line was meant for. It was meant for kids. But they got better and better over the years, and the scale got better, and I think the sculpt got better. And when we started to get the Batman, some of the highlights I think were like the Keaton Batman and the Keaton Batman Batwing, and it looked like the line. And I thought this Metal Force stuff, because I like the Metal Force stuff. I thought it was pretty cool. Good price point. Like that's only $10. I think I paid like 25 or 30 for that. It's a fun little set. Um, it was it was a good little line. Like reiterate what Bob said. Hopefully Mattel will kind of do what they're doing with the Jurassic stuff, and we'll get more of this, but maybe a little bit higher articulation. I think that would bring in a lot more people. And the price point for that stuff's about the same for the most part. They don't do single figures really much unless it's a Hammond collection. Um, but that's okay too. That's okay too. I was disappointed to see the new Superman figures were 3 inches. Yeah, me too. I was really bummed with that. Yeah, some of those Superman robots in 118 would have been nice. Yeah. So just wanted to talk briefly about this line. I did enjoy it, and I have a lot of it, not all of it. I didn't get everything here. Like, actually, don't have that Joker. I don't have it. This whole bottom. I have this guy though. I've got the Penguin from the movie. Because a lot of times you could find these on deep clearance, particularly the movie figures once the movie was out, or out of the theater, I should say, and it was no longer being shown. These figures would get down to a couple bucks. Of course, they could have improved them. They definitely improved the sculpts and like the proportion, but the articulation, they pretty much stuck with the same recipe throughout the whole line. And I think they had this line like probably about what 3 years. This is about 3 years worth of stuff, and it's gone now. So that is one of the lines. Here, I'm going to close that. This is one of the lines that we lost this year. This is the other one. This one probably hurts a little bit more to most of you guys, because I think most of us are into highly articulated modern figures. And the Joy Toy Corvus Belly Infinity, really good figures, man, really good. And I'm not sure what happened, but the line seems to be over. Really, I think some of these guys here at the top were some of the last new ones. This big guy here, maybe this one in red. And I think Skellywags TV mentioned that the line was dead. And then I noticed, yeah, they're not releasing anything. And Nothing, nothing this year really. Really, really good line, really fun designs, Joy Toy quality, articulation, sculpt, paint, really good figures. I missed out on the Flash Batman bike. Yeah, I was so bummed with the line ending. I think it's a license. I think the license ended. Yeah, I didn't quite hear what happened with that. I just know that they stopped, and I army built this guy here, the Belly Nomad Wildcats, and I got several of the blue guys, Knight of Santiago. I don't think that's, I can't remember what faction that is. Um, Pirates, I know you like these yellow ones, these Yu Jing Shang. I ended up getting one from your recommendation. That's a really good price probably for that for 22. Again, I'm just looking on Amazon because I thought they had the best sort of pictures and selection. You could see actually see the prices that they're going for rather than on the Joy Toy website. But some of these were really good. This row right here. I don't have this big mech guy here at the end, but these four were all really good. But yeah, really disappointed to see this line go. I thought that it had sold well. It seemed like it did, but we don't see the numbers. I can only judge by social media. Snatching up a lot of the army builder characters. Yeah, I've been tempted. Oceania. Yeah, that's what the blue ones are. Oceania. I'm trying to catch up with the Corvus Belly before it disappears. Yeah, this is the time. These prices are, this is Amazon, but the prices on these are fairly reasonable. 22, 25, 24, 25, 25. Some of the bigger mechs, looks like they're in the 60s here. This guy's a good army builder, 25. So there's some deals here to be had. This is a 4-pack. I have this 4-pack actually. Or is it this one? Is that the same one? I've got this 4-pack of these guys, these Oceania guys here. But yeah, and these guys were really good too. These Aridana Marauders. But yeah, I don't know what happened with the line. The figures were good. The figures were really good. Seemed like social media people were displaying them, talking about them, shooting them. The Knight of Santiago looks great. Yeah, it's a fun one. That one's a fun one. I'm guessing the Corvus Belly line didn't get enough traction. It might have been too much take on the same time as Warhammer. Yeah, that's probably a factor, right? I really like this guy, this Padre Inquisitor. I really like that guy. But yeah, there's a lot of figures. Um, the line died, it's gone, but you can still grab the figures, and you can wait, you can hold out a little bit, but I think as they disappear, you know, it will hit that point where they're cheap now because people are trying to get rid of them, and then they'll become valuable because they're not out there anymore. So you kind of have to get them while you can. But it's nice that they're using, if you have Amazon or um, I'm sure they're still on some of the locker toys and cool toys and the Calcus and all that. Um, but yeah, that's a line that we lost this year. It's a bummer because this was a really good one. This was a really good one. And I thought the Spinmaster one, I know you probably disagree with me, but it was a really good line for what it was. And that's the same thing for this. This is a really good line for what it was. Different, but they're different. They're completely different. Love how they were on the peg. There are some really cool spider robots on tabletop I was waiting for. These are pretty cool, but a little pricey for unknown IP. Nobody knows about these guys. Yeah, I had not heard about these guys until Joy Toy got them as well. I don't play a lot of like board games or anything, so I had no idea what this was. But the figures were fun. They're fun, and they should be coming down in price, I think, here for a while, until they meet that limit of rarity, and then they're going to probably go up again and be harder to get. It was a line aimed at kids. Yeah, it was, and this one is more of a collector line. So again, like, I'm disappointed to see them both go for different, but they both offered something different in the 118-375 world. I wanted a Swamp Thing. I never got the Swamp Thing in that Spin Masters. I never got that one. I have the Haya one. Um, and I broke something on him on accident and had to glue them together. I like the World of Halo figures and vehicles. Yeah, me too. Yeah. That line's still technically going though, I think, but it's only on the vault now. Or the Jazzverse vault. Check the Corvus Belly tabletop designs. There are so much cool characters. Yeah. And we're probably never gonna get to them now, huh? All right, so now let's move on. Let's brighten up the mood. Let's talk about some of the lines that we gained this year. And that was one we lost from Joy Toy. This is one we gained from Joy Toy. I don't know if it's an actual fair swap because this is like fighting game guys in like real world clothes. This is in a sci-fi, you know, based on a game. It's based on a game, but on a completely different type of game. But we gained the SNK King of Fighters figures. Now, I have the first wave, I guess, Team Japan here at the bottom. That was going to be one of my next videos. I haven't opened them yet, but since we've got those, they've announced 2 more teams, and these figures look really good. I'm still waiting on my stage base Japan Street here. It's gotten lost in the mail. I'm gonna probably have to figure out who I got that from, and I think I got it from LT Cave and kind of try to track it down. It's been in transit since mid-October, and I think it got lost. Love the design from King of Fighters, but I'm so annoyed by the size. Yeah, it's weird, huh? Someone I read somewhere was saying that they're like the size of the Warhammer 40K, and I have the 3 of these guys here, and this guy in the middle is huge. He's big. These guys are rather thin. They're tall. I don't think the scale's that far up, but this big guy here, Team Goro, Damon. I don't know how to say that, but this guy looks like a Ryu. And you know they've announced another team, another wave. So I'm not sure how far this will go. I can't remember who said. One of you guys, I'm sorry, said there's a lot of teams in this game. So I'm not sure how far this line can go. But I'm in. Um, this line is so disappointing. You're not. Oh, okay. You're not feeling this line, Tech. This line isn't blowing my skirt up. You either, Pirates. All right. Love the design, but I'm annoyed with the size. No, they are bigger. I wasted my money. They are not 118. They are huge. Yeah, they are pretty big, especially that guy. And I assume they'll all kind of go together, though, right? This line will be big, so they'll look good with each other, but maybe not with everyone else. But that's the way I always felt with the Warhammer 40K. But they're supposed to be that big, right? Compared to like a normal human. Is that the logic of why these are so big? Because in the game they're big, or bigger than your average dude. Because I mean, like her, it's hard to tell, but she's got the dog there. That looks about right. So that dog must be pretty big, or she must be small, right? They're huge, yeah. Bye, everyone. The DS time got me out of sync. Oh, okay. Oh, you got daylight savings time. Thanks, Sentinel. Yeah, thanks for stopping by. If they were 118, I would have been all in. Yeah, have a good night, Sentinel. MCR. Yeah, so we gained this line though, guys. We did. It's a new line. You know, is it going to be the next Corvus Belly? Is it gonna, is it gonna fizzle out here? Maybe because of the scale. Maybe not. I mean, I don't know. I really like the designs of them. But again, I haven't opened them yet. But just looked at them through the box, through the packaging, and yeah, this guy in the middle, he's huge. He's a big dude. It is some 115 legacy scale in Japan, maybe. Could be. Warhammer's supposed to be big. Right. Warhammer is supposed to be big. Warhammer's another line I'm not crazy about. Yeah, I'm not into the Warhammer stuff either. But yeah, maybe it is. Maybe it's actually 115. But they always. Well, let's click on this. Let's see what it says. Yes, we are. We're still American. We're still speaking English. See, does it specifically say 118? Because I thought that they had advertised these as 118. Is that something that I just missed? I love all these effects too. These are really cool. You could always use those for other things. Man, that looks really cool. But yeah, they don't really actually say the scale. Oh, right there, 11.7 centimeters. So yeah, they're like 4.5, 5 inches. Man, he looks cool though. He looks really cool. Real about. Can't read that. The future is now. Yeah, these look cool though. So yeah, I'm in on this line. We'll see though. Scale is the most important thing to me. So if they're a little bit too big, um, then I'll probably stop. But I have pre-ordered, pretty much everything. Um, but that play set, that base, seems to have been lost in the mail. But I'm expecting these three here next. These Akari Warriors, and then the new wave, and then I'll have to reassess if the scale's that messed up. Then I'll probably be out because I'm a stickler for that. I do like the blonde chick. Yeah, she looks cool. They did advertise as 118 at first. Okay, that's what I thought because I would have never, I would have never got into it. But yeah, they're fairly large. But are they in the game? That's the thing. Are they staying true to the game? These are all big dudes. She should be a lot. Do they stand him up? Let's see what it said her height was. Let's see what it says her height is. Let's see. You can see right there. Oh, see, yeah. So, yeah, she does look like she might end up being 118 on, and these guys are all big. Let's see what it says for her. Because he's 13.2 centimeters. Yeah. Oh, I didn't see her. Curious to see what they say about her. Oh, they don't give her the single. Huh. That's not right. That's not fair. Let's click on her. Yeah, when you click on her, it shows you all three. It doesn't show you. She's got to be a little bit smaller. Maybe she's the true 118. Yes, the characters are big in the game. Yes, they're big in the game. Yeah, so by the way, don't forget to tap that. Oh, yeah, thanks, Bob. Yeah, tap the like. Subscribe if you haven't. I'll probably just get my fave from the game. Yeah, Leona is one of them. Okay. But cool, yeah, so we gained this line. But that's a good point. Is it actually 118, though? There must be some reason they're so big. Joy Toy knows 118, yeah. They must be trying to stay true to the game, I'm guessing. All right, here's another one we got this year. And they put these up for pre-order in 24, but we actually started to get them here in 25. There's a lot more on the way. This is, where did I pick this? This is Haya's website. So I went to Haya's website. This is another line. This is another line we gained this year, which I think, I can only really gauge it by the video that I did. I did a video on Negan here, and it did really well for me, like, for as many people that watched it, and commented and all that. And I think, was it Tech? Was it you? You said you had one of the monsters. I don't know if you had this one. I think you had the four-armed one, which for some reason they don't have his picture up here. It might be on Amazon though. But this is another line, that we gained this year, and it's a Haya, so I like Haya. Haya does good stuff. These it's interesting because all of them look pretty good, like the faces. But with Haya, you never know what you're going to actually get when you open it up, or what the final product will be. Are the regular sized people in the game too? Yes. Yes. Oh, yes, you got that monster. I don't know, Jeff, about the game. I'm not quite sure. I know nothing about this show, but I want the black one with the katana. Looks cool. Yeah, she does look really cool. She does. She might look the best, to be honest, in my opinion. I liked the Negan. I know some people didn't like the face. He was missing a thigh swivel, but it looks like they have it on this guy, a Merle here. So I don't. I think it's selective. They did that with the Joes too. It looks like they have thigh swivel on these. The Joes, the articulation isn't standard. Some of them have things that the other ones don't. Unlike Joy Toy, everyone has the same thing, everything. Um, but no, these look really good. And I think from what I mentioned earlier about the video, it seems like this has a really diehard fan base. So I think this line is going to do well once everything starts to come out. Um, and I'm interested in it. I pretty much pre-ordered one of everything. And I did army build. Where's Sentinel? Where are you? I did army build this one. So I got like five of them. Been trying to get that Daryl figure, but he's always sold out. Yeah, Rick looks good for war. Yeah, I know. Oh, you got her. Pirates, you got her too. King of Fighters are regular humans with martial arts powers. Hmm. Oh, yeah, that makes sense with those blast effects and stuff. Very Street Fighter. Throwing Arukins and all that, huh? But yeah, I'm looking forward to this line. Hopefully they catch up. As far as I know, only 2 of the figures that they put up for pre-order have actually made it out. Um, this isn't even all of them because there's a couple missing here, like that zombie with the 4 arms or 5 arms. Um, I think there's another one too I don't see here. Oh, that's the Rick that you're talking about. But yeah, hopefully this line will start to fill out. I did get my Hiya Toys Crimson Troopers, Crimson Guard Troopers this week. They just came in, like a partial order. So Hiya's like hot and cold. So maybe we'll get flooded with these figures eventually. That would be nice. Um, but this looks like it's going to be a good line. Walking Dead has something like 27 seasons of a sort of show. Should be a big fan base. Yeah, it makes sense. Especially for like that video, that I was talking about. If you go back to it and you read the comments, a lot of people were Walking Dead fans. They're not action figure fans, and a couple of them, some of them weren't the nicest to me because I don't know if I told you guys this story. Um, on that video that I did of the Walking Dead, Negan, and I took the comment down. And I don't remember who he was, but he left a comment on there and told me I should not have bought that figure because I don't watch Walking Dead, and that Hiya doesn't make lots of figures, so they're very limited, and it should have gone to someone who really likes the show, and I shouldn't have got it. And I was like, that's like the weirdest comment, that telling me I shouldn't have the figure. I shouldn't have bought it and opened it because I don't know the show, and it should have been for someone who watches the show. I don't say I got an argument with him, but I messaged him and said, dude, this channel is about action figures. I open action figures. He's an action figure. I don't buy things thinking like they're limited, there's not enough of them. I better, no, if I want it, then I'll get it. If I don't, I don't. But I ended up, I'll say I battled with him. We argued for a second in the comments, and then I just deleted his comments and said, you know what am I doing? Who cares? And I just took the comments all down. The audacity, yeah. I thought it was like a weirdest comment, like, you're not allowed to buy this toy because you don't know. Like, I was so surprised, but I was getting, if you look at the video, the views and the comments, I got way more than I normally get, but they weren't action figure people. They were Walking Dead people, or people that search Walking Dead in YouTube, and my video popped up and they thought, oh, that's weird, and they clicked on it and they watched it and they were like, because I say like in the first 3 minutes of the video, I don't watch Walking Dead. and I had to ask Jeff how to say the guy's name because I didn't even know how to say his name. And I say that in the video, and I guess that angered some people. I don't know. The internet is weird. You know, the internet is weird. The game figs all seem bigger. Gatekeeping figures. Now that's a new one. Who cares? There are all kinds of weirdos online. Yeah, that's what I thought too. I was like, why am I even arguing with this guy? Who cares? Delete, block, done. Um, but there are other properties where you split between the fans and figures and fans of the IP, like the HasLab seems really geared for Tron fans. Star Trek is also pulls fans. Oh, you know, I just got a new Star Trek figure too. A Haya. That was the other thing I was thinking. I got some Joes and I got a Star Trek figure. Gatekeeping is such a weird facet of fandom too. Yeah, haha. His name is almost racist. I hadn't thought of that. That's yeah. That's not cool though. We don't do that kind of stuff. But you're right. It's really close, huh? It's a couple of letters off. That's not cool. I've never heard of that name though before. That's what I mean. I didn't even know how to say it, but I guess that really irked some people. Anyways, I don't want to dwell on that too much. But it was kind of funny. If I when I check my analytics, if I get another bump in that video, I'll know it was you guys going back to see what I said, which would be funny to me. But um, yeah, I got a. It was wild. I thought, which Star Trek figure did you choose? I got my first red red outfit. I think it's Scotty. I think it's Scotty from. I can grab it. I think it's Scotty from the Abrams movie. It just randomly showed up, and I was like, "Oh." I've noticed. I don't know. Have you guys noticed this here? I think we're. Let me move this real quick. Let's go here. I've noticed that like Locker Toys and Cool Toys and some of the online retailers, they're not sending tracking information anymore, or like notifications that things, they're fulfilling the order. And so both of those, the Haya Crimson guys and that Star Trek figure, they just showed up, and they always have very random names on them. It doesn't say LT Cave or Cool Toys or anything. It just has like a person's name, someone here in the States that they must ship out for them. And they just kind of showed up. Let me show you real quick. Yeah, it's definitely Scotty. But first red, I think I've got one blue, and all the rest have been the yellow, orange, mustard. And then I also got this guy. So those showed up this week just randomly. That'd be Scotty. Only red shirts. Oh, okay. Yeah, so you knew about him. Yeah, I forgot. He just showed up. Only got one. Only got one. I still get tracking from LT Cave. Must be a US thing. Yeah, maybe it is. Maybe it is. Daryl is in my pile of loot. Cool. Cool. Yeah, I'm waiting. I've got a couple things in my pile of loot as well. I'm just waiting for the Boss Fight Studio, the Red Sonja that they keep saying's coming, or anything else that might be coming from Boss Fight that I have there. Um, I'm not expecting Eagle Force anytime soon, um, but yeah, some highest stuff came in. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Um, but very random. Just showed up. So I'll probably be they'll be in my next haul video, and I'll probably do videos on them because they look pretty good. And I enjoy those Star Trek figures. I know I've seen a couple of people not happy with them, um, but for the most part, I think they've been pretty good. They've been pretty fun. Um, let's see, Pinker, you're taking off. Have to go. Cheers, guys. Always fun to have. Thanks, Pinker. Thanks for coming. The highest Star Trek Nero has been in my BBTS pre-orders forever. Starting to wonder if he got a shadow canceled. Yeah, he could have. Yeah, that's been over a year for that one. Have a good night, Pinker. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. I've had certain highest Star Trek figures on pre-order from BBTS for 2 years now. Still haven't shown up. Nebula's Nexus, welcome. Welcome to the chat. Yeah, that's why that one was so random. You know, there hasn't been a Star Trek figure come out this year, I don't think. I can't remember. Yeah, I'm wondering if the rest of the Star Trek 2009 figures will be canceled. Seems like High is moving on to TOS and Strange New Worlds. Hard to say though with Haya. I like the Haya Star Trek figures. I just wish they had better face paint. Yeah, me too. Me too. The new Red Viper from Haya looks good. Yeah, he does look good. Not happy about this knife he has like right here on his shoulder. It's kind of in a weird spot. Whoops. I'm wondering if I can mod that. You see that? It's like right there. So if he turns, it's like right in his face. And if he wants to pull it out, he's got to pull it out like that. I always thought the knife should be like pull it down, like pull it out. I don't know. I don't know. It's a toy. It's a toy, right? But it does look good. It does look really good. I'm worried that Haya is spinning its wheels with the Star Trek IP, but I'll keep buying them. Have long one. Yeah, me too. Me too. We just got through most of Strange New Worlds, and I did see that they were talking about a new movie soon, or they're going to be starting a new, like a reboot again, another reboot of Star Trek, for the movies, for the theater. I didn't love the paint apps on the Star Trek figures. Also, don't like how the neck and the head. Yeah, heard that a lot. Yeah, yeah, about the head and the neck. The Crimson Viper. Oh, the Red Viper Trooper. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I did. I ordered that one. I just pre-ordered that one. It finally came up um, on, I think, LT Cave. I think it was the cheapest that I found. I only got a couple of them though. This one I got several. I got a lot of them, and they haven't fulfilled. They haven't. The whole order hasn't come. That was another thing that was weird. They only sent me half the order, so I don't know what's up with that. And all the cards were pretty banged up. I do like to keep one mint on card. Um, but they all had the same, like, I don't know if you can even see it in the camera. Oh, right there. Wrong way. This right there, they have like a crease going through the card. They all have it in the same exact spot. So I don't know what happened there. But yeah, he looks really good. So, all right. I'm thinking we're going to come back in 2 weeks. I hope you guys will join me. I think we're going to I was thinking like maybe we do a deep dive into one of the better lines of the year, either like the vintage collection or the turtles, um, maybe the Haya Joes. I haven't quite decided, but I thought we would kind of, as we ramping up towards the end of the year and our top lists, like our top 10, figures and the top lines and the top, vehicle or whatever, I thought we would kind of start to talk a little bit more about some of the better stuff. So today was lines we lost, lines we gained, and that wasn't all of them. If there's a line that you want to talk about that we lost or gained that I missed, because I had to just kind of pick a couple. I even threw in the Jazzware Stranger Things, but I just did a video on those, and I kind of kept it two lost, two gained. But I think maybe next in 2 weeks we'll do a deep dive on maybe the vintage collection or the turtles or the Haya Joes or another line. Um, Legacy Soul Microman is another new line we got this year. I'm not familiar with that one. I should get those to go with my custom Crimson Twins. Yeah. And those Crimson Twins have been on pre-order for, like we were saying earlier, I think for like a year or two. Yeah, they're not coming out in the order that they solicited them. They were for a while, and now it's kind of just random. I have an idea for your video. Your favorite toy line from your childhood, or a few of them. That'd be a good one. That would be a good one. Yeah, I could probably do that. Let me write that down. That's a good one. But I could tell you, you'll probably already know what it is. It was, well, you know what we could do? That's a toy lines kid. That's a good one. And maybe, yeah, I could kind of talk about how scale, and that's the thing. It's with scales what's so important to me. Um, I want Spirit. Yeah, that's another one. Yeah, they're not coming out in order. I wish they would. And I think it's odd too. They still haven't. Um, there's no Duke or Scarlet. I'm kind of surprised at that. They were always kind of like the most. You know, there's so many versions of them, and Duke's kind of the leader. I know some people think it's Flint, but it was always Duke, and then General Hawk, right? How many? I didn't get those. I used two Kylo Ren heads of Hasbro 25th. Oh, okay. Yeah, Spirit looks good. Yeah, Legacy Soul Microman. I am not familiar with that. I'm gonna take a quick look. Legacy Soul Microman. Just kind of pull it up over here, see what I see. Oh, Big Bad Toy Store. Oh yeah, those guys. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. Um, yeah, these guys. Yeah, I know what you're talking about, Bob. Yeah, these are cool. These are cool. Yeah, we definitely right. I think back, I guess back to the topic, we did gain more than we lost, and that's always a positive, right? We gained more than we lost, because it was a little bit harder to think of lines that we lost, and I had to kind of pare back the ones that we gained, and I didn't even consider this one because I hadn't thought about it. But you're right. Yeah, yeah, these are cool. These are definitely pretty cool. Um, and it looks like they're up for pre-order February of 26. So that's not that much longer of a wait. But they look pretty good. They look pretty good. Good call. Good call, Bob. I ordered Spirit like 2 years ago. Yeah, it's been like 2 years. Yeah, Duke, Scarlet, and Hawk seem overdue for high. Yeah, they do. I'm not sure how that, you know, how the order of that worked, but I don't know. They they fulfilled pre-orders on ones that came out much later than they first solicited, and there's still some characters that they haven't got to. But I always say this too. I need a Doctor Mindbender. I want a modern Doctor Mindbender, maybe a modern Serpentor. There's a lot of characters. I've been actually watching a lot of the classic Transformers. I've been watching them at night when I go to bed, and that was a good little cartoon. I remember why I liked it so much as a kid. They're always battling. The stakes were always high. The world, could have cracked in half, or Cybertron could have ran into the planet or something. They're just good stuff. Really good stuff. Microman Wave 2 and 3 have been previewed by at Japanese toy shows. Okay, so there's already plans for 3 waves, huh? Number one exclusive action figure set. Yeah, that looks pretty good. All right, guys. So I think that's the show for the night. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you to everyone who came by and said hi. If you're catching on the replay, please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff. I do appreciate you guys coming. Can't do the show without you. Hope it was entertaining, at least for this an hour and a half. We almost went an hour and a half, which is pretty good for us. I do have some time off coming up at the end of the year, so I might do some other live streams on the way to the end of the year. But I think definitely we're going to be doing some look backs, I guess you would call it, look backs at 25, because I think it's been a really good year. I think you would agree with me. They could always be better, but we got a lot of good stuff this year, and hopefully next year it just keeps improving. Um, but it's hard to tell right now because of all those things going on that we can't control with tariffs and trade and all these things. But hopefully it's getting ironed out, and we'll start to see more figures coming in and more lines starting. It's like someone dies and someone is born every day, right? Lines end all the time and new lines start all the time. So who knows what the new year will bring. But we'll talk about it here up to the end of the year. And I think that was a good Juno's favorite toy lines when I was a kid. I think that would be a good topic too. Maybe that will be our New Year or New Year's topic. We'll have to figure that out. But thank you so much for coming. And I will see you in the next one. If you ever want to talk, just DM me on Instagram or leave a comment in the video. This one, I noticed it's not telling me older videos when I get comments, only like the new one, the new video, the newest one. So let me know if there's anything you want to talk about. Thank you for coming, guys. I do appreciate it. And I will see you in 2 weeks, but keep an eye on the channel. All right. Bye now. Good night, everyone.